these are the tools that you're going to need. Here is a set of crochet hooks. These are aluminum, but when you're just starting out, really any style crochet hook is fine to use. You'll also need a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle, and this you'll use to weave in your ends. You'll also need the yarn of your choice, and that's it. I will be teaching you how to do this particular Afghan. This is called the Gray Skies Baby Afghan, and it can be made larger to accommodate an adult size, but this one in particular is going to be for a baby. What I love most about this blanket is that it's so simple to do once you've learned the single and the double crochet, and applying it, it really has this beautiful texture to it. So that's something that we'll be working on as we get further into this tutorial, and then in the next tutorial, we'll see how it's coming along. So we're going to cast on our very first chain stitch. To do that, I'm going to take the yarn and my crochet hook. I'm going to loop the yarn around my fingers, almost creating a little lasso. Pull the yarn behind, insert the hook into the space and around that first piece, and then pull through. That tightens it, and that would be my very first start of the chain stitch. Now let's try it again. So loop, yarn to the back, insert the hook around, and pull through. Let's show that to you a little slower. Now that we have that very first start of our chain stitch, we don't want to take the piece that's shorter. We want to take the longer piece that's attached to our yarn. And we're going to do something called yarn over. So you're going to take your hook, yarn over, pull that other piece, and you're going to pull that yarn through the loop that's on your hook. And that's your very first chain stitch made. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. And you'll keep doing that for as long as the pattern calls for. It'll always give you a chain amount to start, and that's what you'll want to do. Also try to keep the tension about the same between all of these. It will keep your work more consistent. This is just a sample to show it to you. So this would be your very first foundation chain. As you look at the chain, you're going to see a number of spaces in between each loop. That's what we're going to want to work into when we're starting our single crochet. Everything in crochet is going to be based off of that foundation row. So whether it's a larger blanket, you'll have many more chains, or if it's a smaller item, you may have just a few. We're going to start the first single crochet by putting our crochet hook into the first space of that foundation chain. So I'm going to put it through. You can see I put it through the back. It's all the way through. Wrap around or yarn over, pull through. You're going to yarn over again and pull through both loops on the hook. So let me show it to you. Insert the hook into the space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, and pull through both loops. Single crochet 2 has been made. We'll keep doing that until we get to the very end of that foundation row. All the way across. Insert, yarn over, pull through both loops. And don't be afraid if it starts to curl, it will flatten out as you continue to go and build upon it. So not to worry. Just do this to the very end. Single crochet, insert. I want to make sure you guys can really see that. So we're putting the hook into the chain space, yarn over, and pull through. And again. We're almost to the end. And that's the very end. This is the very final one of our foundation row. Okay, you can always tighten up the last chain just so that it's clean. And now you can see the very first row of our single crochet. Perfect, so now we're at the end of that first row. So to continue on to the next row, I'm going to chain 2. So again, remember that's yarning over, pulling through the loop on the hook, yarn over, pull through it again, and that is 2 chains. I'm going to turn the work, and now I'm going to be working into the space between all of the single crochets that I've done. So this would be considered the very first space. And I'm going to do the next row of single crochet starting right in that space. So again, I'm going to take the hook, insert it into that first space, and I'm going to yarn over, pull it through, yarn over again, and pull through both loops. Take a little bit more yarn here. insert it into the space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, pull through both loops. Insert it into the space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, pull through both loops. And I'm going to do that all the way across. Insert, and 2 more times, and that finishes the second row. So you can see it's starting to stack and build upon itself. Okay, that is single crochet. If you wanted to keep going, you'd add another chain 2, turn, and you're going to begin again in the next chain space. So that would be right here. So I would insert my hook here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, and pull through both loops on the hook. And I would just keep going across, and that would be a continued single crochet. Let's start to look at what a double crochet looks like. I'm going to chain 2, and now we're going to turn our work, and I'm going to show you what a double crochet looks like. So in single crochet, you would just insert the hook into the space, but in double crochet, you're actually going to yarn over first before you insert the hook into the space. So again, yarn over, insert the hook into that first chain space, yarn over again, pull through. And now you have 3 loops on your hook. So double crochet, you want to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, leaving another 2 loops on the hook, and then you're going to yarn over again and pull through the rest of the loops. So let's show that to you again. Yarn over, insert the hook into the chain space, pull through, and now I should always have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over again, pull through the first 2, yarn over again, and the last 2. Yarn over, insert it into the hook. Sorry, space. Yarn over, insert it, pull through, yarn over, insert, pull through the first 2 loops, pull through the second 2 loops. Double crochet is obviously very similar to the single crochet. It just elongates the stitch, and I'll show that to you in a second. first two and then the last two. I'm gonna do this to the very end. Very last stitch, you just want to be careful because there's a mess kind of at the end. So you just want to make sure that you're finding that space in between. There's an actual space, a hole that you put it through. And then I'll do the very same thing. And that finishes the double crochet for this. I'm going to chain 2, turn my work. And you can see there's a little bit more space in between with the double crochet, and the stitch in and of itself is much longer than the single crochet. And that's it. It's really that simple. To begin working the Gray Skies Baby Afghan, you want to make sure that you have a size J crochet hook. I used Bernat Baby Sport. You can really use whatever yarn you like. You just want to make sure that it's really soft if you are making it specifically for a baby. This weight, which is something that we'll talk about in another tutorial that you'll look at constantly, is right here. So it's a light 3 weight. A lot of times when you're doing thicker Afghans, you'll be in a 4 or above, but when you're getting into smaller Afghans or into baby weights, they're gonna be 3 and below. To do this particular stitch, I'm going to just use this for the example. This is a combination called the lemon peel stitch. It is single crochet, double crochet. So you want to make sure you have an even amount. The pattern calls for 146. You can make that larger or keep it at the 146 in order for it to be a baby size blanket. So you would chain 146. Just to show you the actual stitch, I'm not going to do that many, but it does have an even 22. So we're going to begin with a single crochet and always end with a single crochet. It's going to alternate single crochet and double crochet throughout the pattern. I'll show you what that looks like. So since we've learned our single crochet, you insert the hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, and pull through both loops on the chain. Now we're going to double crochet. Yarn over, insert into the loop, yarn over again, pull through 2, and pull through the rest. Now I'm going to single since I'm alternating single and double crochet throughout. So I'll insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through all the loops, yarn over, because now I'm going to double crochet, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, pull through the first 2 loops, and then the last 2. Single, double. Single, and now a double. And I'm going to alternate those 2. I'll across. When you get to the chain 2 at the end, to continue on to the next row, you want to make sure that you're going into the right stitch. So a single crochet in this particular pattern is always going to go into a single crochet, and a double crochet will always go into the double. We'll look at that in just a minute. Single, double, single, double, and finally a single in the very last chain space. And you can start to see how the pattern, that ripple effect, is beginning because you have the alternating stitches. So I want to make sure that I'm doing single crochet into the first stitch. So right here, that very first chain space, I'm going to single crochet. And now I know this is the longer stitch, so this is my double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, insert it into the space, yarn over again, through 2, and then the last 2. That's a smaller stitch, so that's my single crochet. Insert the hook through, pull through, and both loops on the hook. Into the double, now into the single. Like I said, for this pattern, it's always singles into singles and doubles into doubles. You will always start with a single crochet, and you will always end with a single crochet in this particular pattern. Yarn over. Double, single, double, and that is the start of the Gray Skies Baby Afghan.